Now, deductive reasoning, let me work questions 15 through 18. Deductive reasoning, I'm going to base myself on facts or things that happen. I'm going to go to a specific case. Okay, so from general cases to specific case. So now let's see that deductive reasoning really is basically backing everything you said. Lawyers, when they go to court, this is basically what they do. They give you what we call facts or premises. We like to use the word premises. Now, premise is what is going to support what I'm going to conclude with. So I'm going to give you a conclusion. So conclude is what I come up with, but my premises is what supports my conclusion. I said lawyers, this is what they do. So here, deductive reasoning. I'm going to give you premises. My premise is angle A and angle B are supplementary. You know that word supplementary? You probably have heard complementary and supplementary. Okay, let me do this really quick. Let me do a little cross thing and let me write the word complementary and supplementary. Let me abbreviate it with the initials and let me go alphabetical order. So complementary and supplementary, they're going to come out a lot. Let me do equal signs here. Now, complementary, supplementary, they have to deal with 90 and 180. So let me write a 90 here and 180 here. Complementary are angles that add up to 90. Supplementary are angles that add up to 180. So here, basically, they said angle A and angle B add up to 180. That was my first premise. And then I said angle A is equal to 25 degrees. What is the measurement of angle B? Okay, so I know 25 plus angle B is equal to 180. Based on those premises, basically what I'm going to conclude with, right? Because I know that A and B are supplementary, so I know they add up to 180. I know that angle A is 25, so basically 25 plus angle B is equal to 180. Let me subtract the 25 from each side. So I'm gonna get that angle B is 155. Because here he's asking, what is the measurement angle B? 155. Notice based on some premises, I came out with the conclusion. I could not have just asked you, what is the measurement angle B without giving you premises. So that's what we call deductive reasoning. Okay, now question number 16. If today is Wednesday, then tomorrow is Thursday. Okay, so that's the first premise that I gave you. If today's Wednesday, then tomorrow is Thursday. Then I tell you, well, today is Wednesday. So what can we say? Well, what can we conclude? I'm gonna write tomorrow is Thursday. As a matter of fact, when we have the if and then statement, or I'm gonna call that conditional statement. If the if happens, so I'm giving you a condition, the if is the premise, and the then is the conclusion. If the premise is true, then the conclusion is true. So if today's Wednesday, then tomorrow is Thursday. And then I say the premise, the if part is true, therefore the then or the conclusion must be true. We're going to call that conditional statement. Again, lawyers use this a lot. Let's take a look at number 17. If I live in Bakersfield, then I live in California. Okay, so I see the if and then statement here. So if the premise, the if part is true, then the conclusion has to be true, the then part. Then here it says, I live in California. That's not the if part, right? That's the then part. What can we conclude? I live in California. That's all I can say. I live in California. Be careful. On question number 16, I said the if part was true. Question number 17, I said the then part is true. Okay, if I live in Bakersfield, then I live in California. We know that is true, right? Bakersfield is in California. But how do you know when I said I live in California? How do you know I don't live in Taft? I don't live in Arvin. I don't live in Delano. I just said I live in California, but I was not specific. Bakersfield is in California, but California is not in Bakersfield. So be careful on that. Here, I can only conclude that I live in California. Now, let's take a look at number 18. Another thing for deductive reasoning, we're going to use these tables here. There are 4 children, Amanda, Bill, Kathy, and Dorothy, that are first, second, third, or fourth graders. So I have 4 kids, and each of them is in first, second, third, or fourth. So different ages. Each child has a different favorite color. It's either blue, red, pink, or green. Use the clues below to figure out what grade each child is in and what their favorite color is. So I'm going to have questions. I'm going to have premises there. I have 4 statements. Based on those 4 statements, I'm going to be able to figure out who's in first, who's in second, who's in third, and who's in fourth. And as a matter of fact, who likes blue, red, pink, or green. So the first thing I have is the 4th grader is a boy who does not like pink. So I have Amanda, Bill, Kathy, and Dorothy. So I have 3 girls and 1 boy. And it says the 4th grader is a boy. Bingo. I already know Bill is a 4th grader. So I'm just going to say, okay, Bill is a 4th grader. So he's not a 3rd grader. He's not a 2nd grader. He's not a 1st grader. He's a 4th grader. And for that one, I already know that Amanda's not a 4th grader. Kathy's not a 4th grader. And Dorothy's not a 4th grader. All right, the 4th grader is a boy that does not like pink. Okay, so I don't know which color Bill likes, but it is not pink. Let me do with blue that check mark. Okay, I found out Bill is a 4th grader. Now, Dorothy is the youngest and likes blue. Okay, so I know Dorothy must be 1st grader. She's the youngest. And she likes blue. So I know Dorothy's a 1st grader and likes blue. So that means Amanda's not a 1st grader and Kathy's not a 1st grader. Dorothy cannot be 2nd grader or 3rd grader. Dorothy cannot like red, pink, or green. And then Amanda, Bill, and Kathy don't like blue because it's Dorothy that likes blue. Cool. Now, Kathy is 1 grade ahead of Amanda. So I have 2nd grade and 3rd grade left. But Kathy is 1 grade ahead. So that tells me that Kathy is a 3rd grader and Amanda is a 2nd grader. So let me just cancel. So I know who's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd, 4th grade. Cool. So Kathy's 1 grade ahead of Amanda. Now the 2nd grader, so that means Amanda, likes red. Ooh, okay, so Amanda, she likes red. So that means that Bill and Kathy don't like red. Well, I guess Bill can only like green, right? That's my only choice left. So Bill's gonna like green. Amanda cannot like pink because she already likes red. And lastly, I'm gonna say Kathy likes pink. So see how based on that information, I was filling things out. Now in your homework, I might ask something like, what color does Amanda like? Well, red. I could ask you, what grade is Kathy in? 3rd grade. So I'm gonna give you guys statements. I'm gonna have you guys fill out the table, and then I will ask you 1 question from the table.